Okay, so you join us backstage at our shop here at our storage facility on July 22nd, and the last time the three of us were together, we were actually at Evan's shop last December with the Bentley
it's right there
behind us, ironically. And Evan came here today because we're taking the Miura to Pebble Beach this year. It's going to be in the preservation class, and we wanted to put the original tires back on the rims to show it with the original tires, but unfortunately that proved to be a little
shrinkage.
Some shrinkage, a little difficult.
But
petrification.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, it would have been cool, but you know, this is part of the whole, like you said, little
we
things that
even
we
exhibited the flat spot.
Yeah, we exhibited the flat spot. Yeah, these.
And you can see how hard the thing is.
It's
it
crazy.
just doesn't even budge.
So the Miura is part of the Begovich collection, and as we know, or as many of you know, following us and the collection that we acquired, many of these cars sat since, if we look on the registration tag on the license plate, 1980. That was the last time they moved. So, you know, getting the tires off when we refreshed the car, got it mechanically running, driving again. Getting these off was difficult. We wanted to try and get them back on for the show, but sometimes these things work, sometimes they don't, and we always can entrust Evan. Evan is always involved with our most expensive cars. It seems like you're always coming and do the most important jobs for us. So, but this time it didn't work out. But we'll bring the tires with us to show with the car, just to show how original this car is.
Yeah.
And it'll be cool to see.
The nice thing is, a car like this, they actually make identical replica
exactly.
tires.
So we have the exact same tire.
That go on and off much easier.
Yeah, some sort of radial that looks totally out of place.
Yeah, watching you fight getting this off was, trying to get that on was, we knew it wasn't going to happen, but valiant effort.
That just getting them on the first side is usually a piece of cake, and this one just like, it's set right there. I'm not happy. Then we measured it, and it was like,
significantly smaller.
It would fit better on a 14-inch rim now than 15. So.
Yeah, so next time you see this car, it'll be in California, and next time we see Evan, it'll be in California too. Well, it's August 15th. It is the morning of the tour at Pebble Beach here. We have our Miura, our 1967 P400 Miura that we brought from Newport, part of the Begovich collection, as we've all come to learn and seen the car in our exhibits and talked about in our video here. So we're waiting on our Mercedes 630K, which is on that truck right there, and then we're gonna line the cars up and drive on the tour. And you can hear some really exciting cars like this Maserati coming up, probably taking over the audio a little bit. But we're in really great company, and it's gonna be a really fun morning. It's my first time ever here, first time ever participating in the tour, so I'm really excited to drive the Miura, and it's gonna be an opportunity of a lifetime. So really fun day ahead of us. Keep watching. We have a lot of great content coming from this week, so we're looking forward for you to see it.
I'm with the team that's going to take out our two great cars on display, the 1927 Mercedes 630K and the 1967 Lamborghini Miura. And this is always, frankly, one of my favorite parts of the Pebble Beach weekend. The fact that we get to see these spectacular cars in motion, to hear them, to smell them, and it's going to be amazingly exciting, I know, for you, Sean, because you love this Miura.
I love it.
This is the perfect road. It's like you're in the Italian Job without the tunnel and the land and the earth mover.
Right. Well, I'll make sure we have the noise. Don't worry.
Avoid the earth mover. Avoid the bucket.
Exactly, at all costs. Now, do you have a great set of Mustang sunglasses to wear?
I never wear glasses.
You have to. I mean, you're driving a Miura. You have to have the sleek 1960s glasses.
We'll see how I look. Maybe I'll put the hat backwards. How does that work? Okay.
That's the very antithesis of what we do in Miuras. And so what do you think about all of this? I mean, you have been involved in the Pebble Beach Concours for how many years?
This is my 20th year.
20th year. Absolutely amazing. This is my 38th Concours.
But you're a lot older than me.
I am incredibly old, and this never gets less exciting, and being involved as we all have been now, it's really seeing it from a different angle than you are as a spectator.
Well, what's interesting is 10 years ago was the first time and only time I've ever been here, and I came as a spectator in 2014, and I always, walking around, I never thought in a million years I'd be a part of this, and here we are 10 years later, I'm driving a Miura. Who would have thought, right? So it's pretty incredible.
As Donald has said, it's such a special day.
Yeah.
And every year, this is the first moment that you can see all of the cars out as a group.
And frankly, I think it's actually even better to see the cars here because you're close to them, they're all mixed up. So it's really great to see all these cars gathered the way they are here, not the way they'll be on the field on Sunday.
Yeah.
So you see the incredible mix of cars, racing cars and touring cars. And
that's it. And what a mix it is this year. Incredible. And Pebble has moved forward with the wedge class, and I've seen a number of the wedge class today. And I now know why it's called the wedge class. But to see them up against the classic era, and we are showing 1967, 1927.
Yeah.
40 years between them.
That's
I think
amazing.
Practically my age.
Yeah.
Practically your age. What a difference 40 years makes in the industry. But it's super. And this car, the 630K, is its second time here.
Yes.
But the first time to be shown in its original paint. The green, which we found is the original green that was painted by Thomas Harrington in Brighton, God bless it, in 1927. What a treat. It is looking spectacular.
Yeah.
And the Miura original, probably the most original Lamborghini Miura.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the most special things about what the Audrain has brought.
Yes.
It shows the true face of the Pebble Beach Concours. A superbly newly restored car and a completely original car.
Yeah.
That's the two together.
It's just.
This is what it's all
I'm getting goosebumps.
No, that's because it's cold.
Yeah.
But it's going to be very exciting. And this year, as you know, I've gone from the presenting side to the judging side.
Yes.
So we've got everything covered here. We've got entrant, we have judge, we have announcer.
Yes.
It's everything. We are the Pebble Beach Concours.
I guess we just take over now, right?
Exactly.
All right, it's
Well,
going to be
have
fun.
fun.
Yeah. Look at that Carrera GT.
Nice Carrera GT. All right, so we're on the tour. It was a little cold this morning, but the sun's coming out now, and dude, this
Driving the Miura.
This car is so epic.
Yeah, the noise
so good.
the noise that it makes. Oh, I'll try and see if this car will go up a little bit. We'll get a little taste of it.
Do a little bit of a ball.
Yeah, it's just so good. That's like 20%. I mean,
It sounds so good. And the best part, the carburetors are right here, so you can see the throttle like that when he accelerates. It's right back here. The engine is literally, we're like bolted to the engine.
Ferruccio knew what he was doing with this car. Let's just put it that way. This car is.
You're up to speed on the Lamborghini.
I'm locked in.
Look on the plate.
Yeah. Well, this is an incredible drive. I mean, this is one of those cars. The more you drive it, the more you understand it, and it's just so good. It's a car that wants to go fast all the time, but also very comfortable. These cars were made for the road, so. They're just, everything about them is great. I mean, especially the noise. Like
Oh,
Antonio was
the
saying.
noise is the best part. But for me, when I see this car, I mean, the shape is so exciting. And the fact that it's, I mean, how old is this car?
It's a 1967.
It's almost 60 years old, and it's like it looks like a spaceship.
Oh, it's still to this day is a modern design, I would say. And they had to, you know, this was a really, you know, the transaxle. Transverse engine.
Yeah.
I mean, wait to fit the engine in and make sure that the driver and passenger had enough space, but also not compromise the design. It's just everything about this car was.
They did an incredible job. I mean, they really did. And being on the tour, I mean,
Yeah, it's very special.
it's so cool. I mean, you flip the camera around just to see all of these people, or just hey, nice box there, just to see all these people, you know, posted up on the side of the road. I mean, there's literally thousands of people that are so excited to see the cars, and it's just to see the smiles on people's faces. Like that's my favorite part. Just how happy everyone is to see the cars.
Yeah, and it's wild to me that, you know, I 10 years ago when I first came here, I was one of these people, and I never thought I would be driving a car on the tour, so it's wild to me. Definitely a huge privilege.
Oh, it's so epic. So epic.
All right, guys. Everybody give you big smiley faces there. Yep. Who's in the back? We've got a vagabond in the back.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the problem is that if you stop anywhere in the Pebble Beach roads, hitchhikers get on. And actually, this guy is a stowaway. He wasn't even planned to come here from Virginia. Somehow, it's like he was in the trunk of the car or sleeping underneath in the truck or something. I'm not sure what, but the first policeman we find,
He's out of here. He's out of here.
So we're here on Highway 1 in the 1927 Mercedes 630K. This is, for all of us who get to participate in this, probably our favorite part of the weekend. Sunday on the lawn is nice, but being here on Highway 1 is extraordinary. And Lee's having a great time piloting this car that he last drove in 2017. And of course, one of the things that's also great about this, of course, we've also got Jacob in the back there. So it's having a touring car on the tour is a lot more comfortable than being in some little open two-seater, or indeed the last time that Lee and I did the tour together in that wonderful 1916 Packard Twin 6. Fabulous, powerful car, but open. It's a lot colder. We don't have to worry about the cool weather here along the California coastline, because the heat soak from this Mercedes engine is unbelievable. So it's very comforting. Who needs heated seat and heated steering wheel when you've got this magnificent Mercedes engine in front of you to provide all the warmth you could possibly imagine? And as always, there are great spectators lining the route, and the enjoyment that they're getting out of seeing these magnificent cars here on the road the way they're meant to be is just spectacular. So we're having a great time, and it's just a wonderful thing to see these cars. We're in the second group of cars that went out, so probably in about 20 minutes or so we'll start to see some cars coming back in the opposite direction. So we've got some really hardy spectators on this part of the tour, standing in the fog, waiting for the cars to come by. Oh, I don't think we ever mentioned the fact that this car has a central throttle, so it also means you have to pay extra close attention to where you're putting your feet at all times. Keeps you focused as driving. And it's one of those things, again, that I think makes the modern Concours experience so different than the old days. With this tour, Pebble Beach, they were really pioneers in doing it. And of course, we do the same thing in Newport at the Audrain Newport Concours Motor Week. We have a tour. And just being able to allow these cars to stretch their legs, I think, is so much better for everybody involved, the entrant, the visitors, everyone. this is a really interesting year, as you may have heard before, where I'm transitioning from a presenter to a judge. And it's really interesting that we had our judges meeting this morning, and we were told what it is that we need to look for in judging a car at Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, and also what is expected in this circumstance. It's very interesting in that you might think that an event like the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance is all about every last blade of grass being removed from a tire, or the absolute absence of dew from a windshield or a top. But it's not. The chief judge, Chris Bach, who's been doing this for decades, told us all very specifically that while this is a concours d'elegance, it is not a concours of condition. So it's not about how shiny the car is and how necessarily clean the car is, it's how correct the car is. So the judges that will be judging Class I, Mercedes-Benz, and L2, post-war preservation, will be looking for some of the same things in a slightly different way. Correctness is what they're looking for. Did the vehicle leave the factory with this equipment in this configuration? And if not, how is it varied and where is the evidence of that variance in period? And in period is defined by 10 years after the vehicle is built. Anything done when the car was 1 year, 2 years, 3 years old, if you've got the documentation, it'll be accepted as original. And that's something that a lot of people don't know. The second thing is they all look very carefully for over-restoration. Obviously, this only will come into effect with the Mercedes, but they want to make sure that the car has the same character in terms of finishes and materials that it had when it left the factory or the coachwork. That is not something that's been tarted up to make it shiny or more impactful. Now, that's one of the reasons why some people bring specific cars to an event like the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance because of their impact, because of their drama. And even there, you have to be very careful because some of the judges, which come from all over the United States and around the world, are attuned to what a car should be like, whether they used a matte finished paint, a gloss finished paint, a flat paint, whether the screws were polished, flat head, round head. And although some of this may seem like endless minutia, it really adds up to the impression of the car with the visitor, with the viewer, with the owner and the judges, so that they know that this car truly represents what the manufacturers and designers had in mind. One of the other things which is very important in this event is the idea that these cars are meant to be driven. Now, you think obviously some of the most perfect restored cars in the world are going to be seen at the Concours on Sunday, but the Pebble Beach Concours Tour d'Elegance is a thing that was instituted about this is the 26th year. Last year was the 25th anniversary. And in fact, you may recall that the two Audrain Collections Pegasos were the poster subjects for the 25th anniversary tour poster last year. So this is something that they thought was really important to implement because these are vehicles meant to be used. So evidence of use in the tour is not a deduction from the judges. And in fact, it even goes as far as if a car sustains some damage during the tour, that is not deducted as well. They carefully monitor to make sure that all the cars complete the tour route down to Big Sur. They check them all off when they get there to make sure that no one can claim a tour ribbon that didn't actually do the tour. The exception is made for pre-1907 cars, which simply have to start the tour and then they're good. Now, one of the things that the preservation judges will be looking for are, again, as the restored class judges, they're looking for materials and services. But in this case, they're looking for preserved original materials and services. Again, here, they also don't take off for normal use. No preservation car has been in a bubble since it was new. The car was used at some point for some distance and in some way. So they're looking for use appropriate to the indicated mileage and the recorded history of the car. So therefore, it's very interesting and a very big challenge for the preservation class judges, especially those in post-war preservation, to tell the difference between a car which has been simply maintained and a car that's had a little bit of tweaking and restoration work. Even that doesn't take something away from a preservation class car because, again, they expect these cars to be used. So it's very exciting to think about what goes into the preparation of these cars and the judging of these cars. And as I said, it's very interesting to switch sides, as it were. So I'm eager to see what my experience is like on the other side, looking at these cars with the same kind of careful eye that we used in the Audrain collections to prepare these cars for the event, looking at the history, looking at the car, seeing how they match up. It's going to be a very exciting year. I can't wait.
So the Miura and the Mercedes 630K are here on the field, and we were so excited to have them out here. One of the things, you see Jacob in the background, Jacob and Lee have done a tremendous job to make these cars as clean as possible, so they're perfect for the judges, or close to perfect as possible for the judges. And being here in the morning, it's one of the most exciting feelings, because you see all of the cars, you feel all of the energy, you see children, you see elderly people, everyone in between. Everyone is happy to be with these cars, and we are so excited to see how today goes.
All right, so we're here with the Miura, the 67 Miura, and we were just judged. And it's always nerve-wracking getting judged.
It really is, because you never know what to expect. You never know what the questions are going to be like, but they really dug into the car.
Oh, yeah.
And my God, they really love the car, I think.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, you're so emotionally invested in the car, you know everything about it, and it's almost nice when you get fresh eyes on it, especially in a setting like this where it's so meticulous and everything just works. Everything worked on the car, which is always a thumbs up. So.
Well, talking of working, you drove the car on the tour on Thursday.
Yeah.
You had a ball, 65, 70 miles?
That's about right. Yeah, I mean, this was the longest I've driven this car, and it really made me fall in love with it. Similar to the Bentley we did in St. Moritz. When you take these cars on longer journeys, you really start to understand them.
That's when you get to know a car, and that's when you bond.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
You know, I read the Lamborghini Miura Bible on the way to this event, and throughout, a common theme is driving it and understanding what it was, especially in the period of just being an exceptional road car, and this really proved to be that. So it was kind of tying the pieces together, but a lot of fun. You did the 630K.
I did the 630K. That was great. Tough class. I think probably the toughest class of Mercedes that has ever been at Pebble, certainly in the last 10 years.
So we've made it to the 630K. Tell me about it.
This 630K, Mercedes, 1927, Harrington coachwork, Thomas Harrington from Brighton on the south coast of England. Hey, British coachwork, thank you very much. I absolutely love this car. I'm a Bentley fanatic, much like you, and this is close to being a Bentley as a Mercedes could possibly be, with that British coachwork.
Yeah.
We've just had it restored, and we found the original color.
I was going to say, the presence of this green paint is...
It's transformed the car for me. I think the judges really liked it. They had some very deep questions about originality and the coachwork and the body, and it ticks all the boxes. It was a Wayman construction. Wayman meaning lightweight, fabric over wood, all of that is there. but it's just looking like brand new. And it's just a privilege to present it to the judges at Pebble Beach this year.
And to the world with
And to the
its
world.
fresh restoration.
Yeah.
It's truly spectacular.
It really is, and it's in a spectacular Mercedes class. Gosh, we are fingers
crossed, right?
Yeah, that's all you can do from now on. Cross your fingers. What will be, will be.
Well, I'm done with my work for the day here, my primary work at least, for the 2024 Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, having fulfilled my judging duties in Class 01 sports racing cars. And as you can see, looking to my left and behind me, the incredible cars arrayed here in the class for the 1927 Mercedes-Benz 630K. The judge's job is a really hard one. And when you look at the fact that each of these cars is a guaranteed best of show winner in any other setting, the job that we have to do as judges is really almost impossible. But the great thing is that you get to see extraordinary cars, and the depth of cars here is absolutely unparalleled. And again, as I'm sure many of my colleagues have said already, it really doesn't matter how you finish and whether you win, because I know that there are going to be 3 cars in my class that will not take home trophies this year, but they will have been well appreciated and well welcomed into the automotive community here by the American and global visitors. It's what makes Pebble Beach so exciting.
Hi everybody, I'm Jay Ward. I was a class judge today for the early wedge cars here at Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance for 2024. I'm excited about coming back to the Audrain Concours, Newport, Rhode Island. It's one of my favorite shows, and it is a jewel on the East Coast, located in Newport among all these beautiful homes on the breakers. It has an elegance and a provenance to it that I think is still growing and still defining itself, and they're bringing it every year and upping their game every year. Being located in the San Francisco Bay Area where Pixar is, it's great to come to the East Coast and see these cars really that may never come out this way. There's plenty of owners in this New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island area that don't want to bring their cars to California, so it's great to get to see them when I go to the Audrain. It is like no other show. Hope to see you there.
Well, our part in the 2024 Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance has come to an end with a very impressive second in class.
Absolutely.
In the post-war preservation class. And Sean, congratulations on a great presentation of a legendary car from the Audrain collection. And what is it like to win your first presentational prize at Pebble Beach?
It's great. It's what everyone said it would be. It's a long day, it's a long week, it's a long year coming to this event, but I wish I could take some credit, but the car did all the work, right? It wasn't just, and there was a lot of people involved in that. It wasn't just me. I just happened to be able to learn a little bit about it and drive it and get to understand it. But, from Richard at Eurotech, really bringing it back to life and showing me every little intricacy, to you giving me books to learn, it's not just one person, it's all of us, right? And that's what makes the Audrain so special.
What makes this so special, I think, for me, is the fact that you truly love this car.
Oh, yes.
And it's in the love of the car that really presents itself. The car speaks for itself, but you spoke for the car. And I think that means a lot because the competition here at Pebble Beach, and especially here in post-war preservation, I was chatting to one of the post-war preservation judges, and he said that their decision was really, really difficult to make. So I know that you did make a difference, Sean.
And I appreciate that. It was a very difficult class, as all the classes are here at Pebble Beach, but it's a special day, one that I won't be forgetting. A lot of days I won't be forgetting in this past week, right?
Well, that's what it's all about. Being here with the 1967 Lamborghini Miura, the 1927 Mercedes 630K, and doing what we do at the Audrain, preserving, celebrating, and sharing automotive history. Once again, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.